Afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Kickback. I am your host, Dude, and I'd like to say thank you to everyone that has come and listened to our channel. We really appreciate everyone that listens to the channel, but at every beginning of every show, I always hit you with I don't do racism of any sorts, any kind. When it comes to the show, if you feel like you want to be racist, then you need to go somewhere else, because we will for surely kick you out of our room, and we do not deal with racism of any form or fashion. So please, 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 if you feel like you're going to be racist, please do not come on to our show, because we really don't deal with racism of any form. So we like to send out that little message ahead of time at the beginning of the show to let everyone know that, hey, we don't deal with racism at any form or fashion. Dave, how you doing today, my brother?
Blessed and highly favored, sir. How about yourself?
Blessed and highly favored. Hey, I get it. I understand, man. It is one of those blessed and highly favored days. What do you think about this weather out here?
Well, it's kind of bipolar. I mean, it doesn't know if it wants to rain. It doesn't know if it wants to be sunny. But,
Right. Today was it was one of those days, man. It was like at the beginning of the day, the sun was not out, and then all of a sudden the sun came out, but it was still mildly cold. But the sun came out and gave us just a little bit of vitamin D. They say you only need about 30 minutes of that for your day to really go well.
Mm-hmm.
So then 4 o'clock came. 4 o'clock came and the game changed, and it went downhill from there. It went straight downhill. I don't know what happened with the temperature. The bottom fell out. Old man winter, Mother Nature. I don't know who to blame for the situation, but somebody is to blame for it.
Well, good luck in cashing that chip in.
Somebody is to blame for the situation. Like I said, I don't know if it's Mother Nature. I don't know if it's Old Man Winter. I don't know which one I want to blame for the situation, because it is chilly outside. It is really chilly outside.
It is December and it is wintertime, so hey, we might be coming into our 3 weeks of winter here in Middle Tennessee.
No. Because, in January is when we usually get the snow, and well, at least that's the way it was last year. We got the snow in January.
Mm-hmm. And then we have a week where it's 60 degrees.
Yeah,
January.
You're right about that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you send the link to John?
Yes, I did send the link to John. I don't sometimes technology does not want to act right. We will find out if he makes it in here in a few minutes.
Yep.
But how are you, my brother?
Oh, I'm good, man. I got to play pickleball today, man. I'm great.
Pickleball, I hear you. The game of champions. Pickleball.
What you said? Say that again.
The game of champions.
Yes. Man, I pulled a shot off today. I impressed myself. I had to stand back and say, wait a minute, did I just do that?
That was a trick shot.
It was just a reactionary shot. The dude the opponent hit a nice shot to my backhand side, and I can't believe I spun around and got to it. And I can't believe I got to the ball and hit it, and two, I can't believe that my strike made the ball go over the net and land in the kitchen area on their side. So I was like, wow, that's crazy. It was a totally lucky shot, but it's just the fact that at 63, I had the speed to not only get there, but to react to it and get a paddle on it and make a quality shot.
Right. And but that's all that matters, that you got your paddle on it and it was a quality shot. And hey, you're doing better than me, because I still have not played pickleball yet.
Well, we're going to have to get you out there. I know with your schedule, you're on the run pretty much, but One of
Yeah,
these
I'm
days we're
most
gonna
of,
have to.
and you're right. Most of the time I'm running and gunning, but you know, we've got
Hmm.
Christmas break coming up.
Break.
Yeah, we got
Hmm.
Christmas break
And
coming up, and
you gonna have to meet me over at Madison community.
okay, not a
We
problem. We
play
can
over there.
do that
Yeah,
because that's
we
down the
can do
street from the
that.
house. I did not know they had a pickleball court there.
Oh yeah, anyway you got a basketball court, you got a pickleball court.
Okay, okay.
Yep, yep.
It looks like our gentleman is trying to come in, but I don't know what's going on because it keeps saying there are 3 participants and then he fades away. So I don't know what's happening. Let's see here. It says got the link. My connection is not good. I'm going to try and get in a better place.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
No, yeah, it's understandable.
Hmm.
Like I said,
Yeah,
technology
we're not in Japan.
sometimes
Hmm.
can be good and sometimes it can be bad.
I was gonna say we're not in Japan where they have 10G.
Really?
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I
They
don't
got
know about 10G.
they got some stuff in Japan and South Korea. Man, it's amazing. Their
I believe it.
technology is just off the chain.
I believe it, my brother. I believe it. I believe it. But we're not privy to that right now. So,
No, we're barely in 5G. We don't even have 5G coast up in all over the country yet.
right. Because I'm pretty sure your hometown well, not your hometown, but the town you grew up in, do you think they have 5G?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Do
That's a
you know
very good
anyone that still
question.
lives there?
Oh yeah, I do. There's a lot of my folks that I graduated high school with that are still there. Matter of
Really?
fact, they were mad at me because I didn't come to the last reunion they had in October. And I said, look, I'm not getting on a plane in Nashville, flying into Philly to rent a car to drive down to Seaford, Delaware for a pizza party. Y'all better come better than that. I can stay here and get some hot chicken pizza and it tastes
Right.
better than coming all the way over there just for a 4 hour pizza party. That's not a high school reunion.
Say that. Say that.
That's y'all locals. That's y'all locals getting together for a Saturday night. Forget that.
Hey, man, that pizza was the bomb, though.
It was.
That
That
pizza
was.
was the
I'm
bomb.
going back over there.
Man, yeah, we gotta go back over there, man. That pizza was the bomb. And like I said, the way that they put it together with all the flavors, nothing overpowered each other. Everything
Exactly.
was right on point. Everything was spot on, man.
Blended well.
Yes,
Hmm.
all of the flavors went together very well, man. It was amazing because a lot of people cannot get the hot. You go some places and the
Hmm.
hot is way too hot.
Hmm.
And then you
Yep.
go some places where they say, "Oh, this is hot." And you take a bite out of it and you're like, "Oh,
Where is it?
ah, that wasn't suspenseful.
Right.
I was expecting, some spice to tap dance on my tongue."
Hmm.
And you get nothing.
Hmm.
But it was, like I said, that was pretty good. Did it come with the ranch or did y'all put the ranch on it?
No, it came that way. That's part of the pizza.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like I
It
said,
was.
it was good. So we'll have to go back there again. Shouts out to, what was it? Long Hollow Pizzas and Pubs.
Hmm.
Yeah, there was shouts out to them. That was a really good meal we had there. A few days back, we had a little men's get together, just kind of hanging out as brothers. Um, Brothers Building Brothers, shout out to them too. Man, we're about to take over, man. Brothers Building Brothers. Just be on the lookout for us. That's all I'm going to say about that is just be on the lookout because we're about to blaze some saddles, baby. We're about to blaze some
Mm.
saddles.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, that's what I said. We're about to blaze some saddles, man. You
Hmm.
know, we're about to do some things because if I have anything to do with it and I'm a part of it, man, I'm gonna give it my all and I'm going to give it my best shot, man. And if it's something that I'm passionate about, man, I will will give it my all and run for the border and back, man. And I think that this is something that is going to what? Did we make it in the building?
I think we did. I think we
Yes,
did.
sir.
Mr. John Little, everyone. Hello, sir. How are you today?
Man, I'm doing good, man. You know, the weather's not too bad. And it's about to be Wednesday tomorrow, so we're moving right along through December.
Man, hump day. Hump day.
Yes,
Hump
indeed.
day. It is the middle of the, now where are you at right now where your service is a little off?
So I'm at my child. I guess it's the winter recital.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, in Bordeaux, North Nashville, just service is not good, whether you're at the
Oh.
Y, the school, the community center. And
But
I
the
don't
thing,
think that's a coincidence.
it never, it never is a coincidence. They
Mm-hmm.
want that land. And until you
Mm-hmm.
give them what they want, they're going to make you suffer.
All right.
Do I now? Yeah,
But no,
he
I'm
is.
excited. I'm excited to be on.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. So what I like to do is I like to introduce myself. I am the dude and this is the kickback and we appreciate you giving us a little bit of your time. And what I always tell my guests is that we do this. Like my interviews are like a mullet. We're going to get the business out in the front and then we're going to have a little fun on the back end. Right?
Okay.
So with that being said, the business on the front end is I'd like for you to introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are and what it is that you do and tell us about Nashville Propel.
Okay, I appreciate that. So first, my name is John, as you guys talked about. I'm a native of Nashville, born and raised from out east. Went to high school, alternative school, college, and graduate school, all in Nashville. And after college, I developed a little bit of politics and entrepreneurship, which led me to education because I quickly realized that a lot of things were happening to black and brown kids that I couldn't do enough by myself to make better. And so I dedicated a lot of my time of spending time collaborating to fight against systems that really put our black and brown, mainly black people down through education and things like housing and the criminal justice system.
All righty. So you said you grew up in Nashville. What high school did you go to?
So I went to Stratford High. I left there my junior year, and then I finished at a little school on Clarksville Highway called Institute of Learning Research. It was ILR. It was a private alternative school.
Okay. Is it still there?
Nah, man, it was shut down because they wasn't treating the kids right. They showed a lot of love, but they wasn't running the school right. But I appreciate everything they gave for me.
All righty. All righty. And so you said you did a little bit of, you had a little runnings with politics, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And what administration was that?
It was Bredesen administration. A wise man in Nashville, Ludi Wallace, told me when I was parking cars at the Hermitage. He said, "Young man, if you ain't at the table, you on the menu." And it took me a couple of days to unpack that, but he gave me his card, and I followed up with him, and that's where my journey started with Mr. Ludi Wallace, who was a council person.
Okay, so Ludi Wallace was a council person that got you into politics, and a lot of people don't understand what you just said. If you're not at the table, you're going to be a meal. You're going to get eaten, and I
Yep.
think a lot of us in the low income, low poverty areas don't understand the true meaning of that phrase.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, we
Nashville.
just see it time day in and day out with our community. They leave school with a degree or with a diploma that I wouldn't say is worthless, but it's not. You didn't get everything that you said on that diploma, you try to make it in the world and you don't have the skills, you don't have the relationships. And it's a few places for you. It's homelessness, it's the prison system, and then it's what I used to call in my younger days, like my second childhood, where I just, play video games and club all week.
Now, what was your favorite club?
Man, it was Club Venus back in the day in the Mix Factory.
Club Venice, man. Oh my God, in the Mix Factory. Man, we got to be around the same age. We've got to be around the same age. I'll be turning 45 in a few days.
Yep. I'll be 42 next year.
All righty, man. Listen, those were the days. These young kids don't know nothing about partying like we used to party back in the day.
Because on the podcast, it was about freaking. Like,
right. It was about freaking. Yeah, it was. Now everybody's standing on the wall tapping on their telephones.
Come on now.
Everybody's standing on the wall tapping on their cell phones. Okay, so here's a little bit about me, the dude. My actual name is Joe Foster, and I grew up in East Nashville. I am a Nashville native myself, and I went to Maplewood High School.
Okay, right down the street from the Spartan.
Yeah. But see, I grew up, my first address I could ever remember was 533 South 7th Street.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Casey.
James Casey Projects.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I'm Nashville to the bone, Gristle, man.
Hey, growing up in Casey, I called it home of the Braves.
Hey, it is. It was home of the Braves. And a lot of people don't know that because when you had what? It goes from 4th to 8th. And you had 4 blocks and 3 of them were beefing with each other. You couldn't be from South 5th and go on South 7, and you couldn't be from South 7 and go on South 8.
Man, segregated within our own community.
Right. So here's the thing. You have a thing called Nashville Propel. What is that about?
So Nashville Propel is a parent organization that just started from a need. Parents needed to have a seat at the table. The Propel acronym stands for Parents Requiring Our Public Education System to Lead. And sadly, but it's the system, we put a lot of faith in our public school system. But what they turn out each and every year when they let kids walk across the stage is an injustice and a travesty. And so Propel was created in 2018 by a group of about 7 to 8 parents to not only fight against the system, but to bring proactive policies that do things like increase the reading scores, to stop bullying, to make sure kids who have special needs are being cared for, and really just to, educate parents about how the system works.
Okay. And so are you a founding member, or what is your positioning in Nashville Propel?
And so I was a founding member. And so Miss Sonia Thomas, who is the executive director of the organization, it was about 7 or 8 of us, and we all committed to starting this organization. But, in Nashville, you either sink or swim with the cost of living. In 2011, my rent was $550. In 2018, that same 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment was $1,300. And so Sonia became our leader and continued the movement. And so I was one of the founders of about 8 or 9 parents.
All righty. So over the past years, how is the impact of Propel bettered education for brown and black children in Metro Davidson County?
I'll say policy-wise, we do 3 things. We educate families about what it means to have a kid in the public school system, what the reading scores mean. They call it MAP. What the MAP scores mean. What does graduation mean? We engage them in the process, whether it's at their child's school, first and foremost, whether it's at the school board, whether it's at at the state where they pass state laws, or even on the federal level with our Department of Education. And then the thing that I enjoy the most, right? It's not about sign your John. Like, we want to empower parents, and so you don't got to follow my lead. Like, ideally, we want you to find other parents who want more information about the school system, and you coach them through what we coached you through, so we can continue to grow this movement. And so it's like each one teach one, reach one.
Right. So it's a movement to have the community get a better understanding of all levels of education, whether it be federal, state, or county. It is a
Yep.
movement to get people understanding that it is I tell people all the time, this is an election year, and my new thing is I hope you get the America that you voted for in the election. And I don't know
Yep.
and I don't care about whoever's political stance. That's your business, whoever you voted for in your political stand. But I hope you get the America that you voted for. But what I tend to tell people all the time is this: the presidential election comes around every 4 years, but you really know what matters? Your congressmen, your senators, your aldermen. Those people are the ones you really need to pay attention to, because they're the ones that's going to put these speed bumps on my road, because people like to drive through here like it's a NASCAR cafe or something like that. Or they're the people that can get a light put on my street because it's too dark. Or they're the people that can say
Mm-hmm.
that, my land taxes can be lowered. But people tend not to focus as much as they should on the local elections.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you spot on. And I'm gonna keep it in context. When we were growing up in elementary, middle, and high school, there was always a bully, right? And that
Yes.
bully pretty much ran the school and ran the class until the class or the school figured out that they can whoop the bully if they all got together.
Yes.
That's where we are with our political system. We still being bullied until we get together and say 7 of us can take on one.
Right. Right. And that is
And I know
wonderful.
I'm breaking up, but what I was saying, like, we teach parents how to fight the power.
Okay. And the thing is, do you feel like there's being a positive initiative being made?
I, I do feel like it's people see it, people believe it. It's just not enough because there's so many naysayers that try to discourage you because they just know if 2 or 3 folks get together, it grows to 6, 12, and 24 and more, and they really put things in place to squash it, so it won't happen.
Right. Right. So I believe in everything that you're saying, and that Propel is doing, but I just feel like sometimes it goes on deaf ears because we live in a society now where ignorance is bliss. It is.
Yeah, we deal with that, but I'm gonna tell you what we believe. We believe when you done been beat up and knocked down so many times, sometime when you want to get up, you got to look left, right, and then you're afraid. What we do is say, we got to chant, and we say, I got your back. Who's got your back? I got your back. Because when you know somebody got your back, you willing to fight because you're not going to get beat up. When we fight together, we win. When you try to fight alone, you try to change things just with one person, you lose, 999 times out of a million. And so we just want to let parents know we got your back. We're here to support you.
Right. So in that essence, um, it is it just feels hard to get these parents on board and get them to understand that This is for the greater good of you and your child. This is for the
Yep.
greater good for you and your child because it's. Well, I don't want. What y'all? What am I gonna get out of this? What am I gonna get? What is? It turns into something that is. Um, it becomes something that you sometimes you think that what am I have you ever had one of those moments like what am I doing this for? What is the real purpose?
You do see that and you say that until you get a victory and you realize that it wasn't as hard as you think. And we just bring a lot of empathy to the table. Like it's hard to believe that a small group of parents can change the trajectory of our school system because we've just seen the school system, and excuse my language, like we've just seen the school system shit on our kids, and we are a product of our school system. I got kids who are in the same school system I graduated from. And so, what we bring to the table is just, we bring passion, we bring empathy, but we also bring the fight. Like if we can do it in the streets with folks, we can do it at the Board of Education. We can do it at the Metro Council. We can do it at the state because we already got experience in that. And if we ain't afraid of people in our own community who we know are tough, we definitely not going to be afraid of people in suits.
Right, right. You're right about that. But it seems that we're more prevalent to fight for ignorance versus fighting for good in our communities. And that's the part that gets me a lot of times. But I started this whole thing, the kickback, and it's my way of fighting for my community because I'm a man and I'm a father and I'm a brother and I'm an uncle and I'm a
Yep.
cousin. And I feel like that we need more places for men to have conversations and
Yep.
understand that life ain't always easy and you do not have to live in silence. Now, yeah, we got you here
Yep.
tonight to talk about the things that we're talking about, but it's educational for men that don't know that there is someone here to fight for their children and fight for their community.
Yep. Yep.
So it is, and being a man and being a father, we are the head of the household. We are the head of the communities. So if we don't start with us, then it's all going to fall down. Years ago, there was a falling out of the male role in the household when crack hit the streets and welfare was really prevalent. It was either we gonna give you this check and we gonna give you this apartment, or you gonna keep this man. And so they kicked the men out of the house and they gave you this apartment and they gave you this welfare. And we stopped becoming the head of the households. We started becoming, you know, how do I say it? We sort of became lost.
Yeah. Bottom of the barrel. Black
Right.
man, bottom of the barrel. But I'm going back to that. Like it wasn't a coincidence, right? When as we think about the history, families, black families raised whole families in the projects, and then they passed a simple policy, not a law, that said that the man cannot be in the house. And, as soon as that policy was passed, women ignored it until there was an argument or a fight, and then they knew the power they had and they used that power to put us out. And so what do? You know, we gotta survive. Like we gonna survive, and we may do, and we have done some illegal things, but it started with a policy that decimated our community. And so we gotta figure out, how do we retract those policies? How do we make sure we have policies that encourage family involvement and not take it away?
Right. And that's why I said the whole thing with knowing your congressman, knowing your senator, knowing your alderman, knowing the people that are in your local community, along with knowing the people who are at the top, we can change some of those policies and procedures. But like you said, we have to. One person can stand up and they can beat their chest and they can fight all day long. But yes, if you have a room of 7, 8, 10, 20 people that signed on and are ready to fight for the injustices that our society, our government, or whoever is deeming they wanted to put on us at that time, then the fight is
Mm-hmm.
a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
But
go ahead, my brother.
yeah, but and that's what I'm agreeing with you. Like we got to keep encouraging men. Like I'm at this recital now, and I'm gonna have to drop off shortly. But it's a lot of fathers out here. But you know what I realized? Like they was, and again, excuse my language, but they was talking shit. Like fathers ain't around. And every event I go to at the school, you see just as many fathers as the mothers. You see the fathers coming in right before it start. They're excited. They're sitting down because they just getting off work. And so we got to also change the narrative and let them know. I think I seen somebody stronger with my father, my guy Marcus, who's, encouraging and creating great visibility for young black men and others who want to be better than their father. Because I grew up saying that my dad wasn't around, and so all I ever wanted to do for my kids is make sure I'm there for them.
Same here. Same here. I grew up in a single parent home just as well. And when I had my first daughter, I made a promise to myself, her, and God that I would never, never not be in this child's life, and I would never be like my father.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So, real quick, because I know you just said you'll have to jump off here real soon. What events does Propel have coming up here in the near future that you can shout out so everyone will know where they can find you, find Propel, or any? Do you know any of the
Yep.
events that's going on?
I do. So I would say one, like check out our Facebook page, our Instagram, and our YouTube. It keeps you abreast. And so right now we're in a campaign. Right now we're educating the community. So the district is doing the best it can based on accountability, but the best it can ain't doing well for our kids. And so we got 85% of our kids who are graduating from high school is what they promote, but only 30% of our elementary kids are reading on grade level. And that number doesn't grow in middle school. It actually goes, a percentage point backwards. In high school, it pretty much stays the same, or it goes a little bit, 1 percentage point behind or 1 percentage point ahead. And so what we're doing right now is educating parents on, although they're graduating at the highest number they ever graduated from, they're reading on the lowest level they have ever been tested to read from. And so we got to disconnect. And so pretty soon we're going to be going up to the local board of education, but also going up to the state to talk to policymakers about creating laws that have more accountability, intervention, so we can make sure our kids are not graduating and they can't read the diploma which was given to them.
That is wild, man. That is really wild. But that is the truth. That is really the truth. Now, what is speaker series?
So speaker series is just an opportunity. It's an opportunity to bring in experts. It may be an expert on the IEP, which is the individualized education plan, which is special education. It may be the commissioner of education for the state. It may be the superintendent. It may be a civil rights leader. And so those are just some of the examples of people we have had. And we just give them an hour to have a platform to talk about what they specialize in. And so that's our speaker series.
All righty. So, what is Access Denied Parent Show?
So access denied is just, man, it's like this. We just do it in the daytime. And, some parents go to work in the morning. Some parents go to work in the afternoon. So we do a show, late morning, and we just get on there and just talk straight up about education, the good, celebrating things, the bad. and the ugly. And so that's access denied. It's just, it's interactive. Parents chime in, they give their feedback. They talk about what's going on in their school. And if we hear too many things, negative things that's going on, like we want to organize them so we can do something about it.
All righty. So here's my thing. We've got a lot of the business. I don't know how much longer you got for me, so I know how to gauge my show.
Oh yeah, I got about 5 more minutes.
All righty. So here we go. Here we go. So what is John Little's guilty pleasure?
Man, I'm not gonna even tell a lie, and I done gave it up for December. That's my Lent, but it's hookah. Like I'm a avid hookah smoker because it's the lounge I go to. They got the games on, whether it's basketball, football, or other. You get a chance to smoke, chill, but you also get a chance to knock out some work. So after a long day at work, and I need to still finish some work, like that's a place I go and hang out and just keep focus. But also chill. And my friends and I, we call it the office because we do a lot of business meetings out of there, just
Right.
because of the amenity.
So if I was to get in your car right now, what would be playing on the radio?
It could be a number of things. I just got the Apple Music, review of 2024. You got some NPR and politics on there. You got some Gracie's Corner. You got some R&B soul, but you also got some trap music, some ESTG, some Lil Baby, because we blend it. Like I still love the culture, and to keep up with it, I gotta listen to the music.
Right, right. All righty. So it would be some Gracie, some now you got Apple Music. Is the kickback going to be in the mix?
Hey, just meeting you and talking to you and listening to what you stand for. One, like I love it, and I appreciate you for even having a platform for brothers like myself. And again, like I love what you're doing, and I want to listen to it. I want to chime in more. And so, 2025, is going to be top of the list.
All right, all righty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you the Apple link once we get off and everything
Okay,
for the show, and that way you'll already have it in the queue. You'll be number 32 on our list because we're 32
okay.
we're 32 episodes strong. We started back in July. We have a pretty good following and fan base. Check out some of them. We've done the president of the NAACP. We've done the only black solar installer here in Nashville, in Tennessee. We've done a
Yeah, what's my
couple.
guy? So what's my guy's name? The solar installer?
Jason Carney.
Jason Carney be playing basketball. That's a good brother. And then my guy with the NAACP, Jonathan Williamson. So,
Yes.
same circle.
Yes, yes, yes. I've interviewed those cats, so it's an honor and a privilege to have you on here also. And then Mr. Marcus Manish, you mentioned earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yep.
that's
Stronger than my father's. Yep.
stronger than my father. See, that's what I'm saying, brother. Here we're trying to build this strong community within Nashville, and I'm also a part of another organization. We're small, but we're about to set off in 2025 called Brothers Building Brothers, and we're a small organization, but we're working. We're trying to, it's a work in progress. You never at the beginning, you got to get all your foundation work done, and you've got to get all your structure done, and you've got to also have a good blueprint. So we're working on our foundation and our blueprint right now, but we're coming for Nashville. We're a men's group that is focused on trying to help brothers maneuver in life.
Man, well, I want to help you guys. I've been working with a few brothers around some entrepreneurial opportunities because I think it's power and money. It's power in people and it's power in money. And so a friend of mine who went to TSU with me, we're working on something big to be the first in our own community and to do something that we usually don't see us like leading. And, if I do have the opportunity, I would love to announce it on your platform, bring people into the platform to hear the announcement, and
Yes.
do some partnership.
Hey, that is wonderful. We are looking for some sponsorships and a couple of partnerships, so that's always wonderful. You have my number, so
Yep.
send me all of your contact information so we can keep in touch. Send me your email and all of those things so we can keep in touch with each other. Because, like I said, that would be wonderful if we could do something like that here on the Kickback. Man, that is amazing. Yeah, hey, God is good, and He put
Man.
us together. He puts us together for reasons.
Yep. Yep. I've been
Friday.
fasting and praying since December 2nd, man. I was like, oh, I missed December 1st, but I've been obedient, and praying and meditating and seeking his face. And it's just been some things that have been revealed. And, this is not a coincidence either. That's why I was like, hey, we got a big announcement. Like, we just met, but like, I feel good energy, man. And I want to support what you got going on.
Man, I appreciate that, my brother. This, like you said, I was obedient. This was something that God has He put on my heart a long time ago. And I was not being obedient to God. And then I decided to be obedient to God one day. And I met the brother David Van Cleves, and God says, that's your brother. That's your brother. That's who you need to connect
Okay.
with. And when I say, when me and this brother connected, it's been nothing but love, man. He has he has been a godsend in my life, man. And I appreciate everything God has done for me and David Van Cleve has done for me. But here's the thing. We do a open show every Friday called Freestyle Fridays, where we have a bunch of men come in and just talk about life, love, religion, and whatever. I'm gonna send you a link on
Okay.
Friday. You could, if you got
Okay.
time, it's at 6 o'clock on Friday. If you want to come in, you come in. If not, you just come in and listen, but you're
Okay.
always welcome here. Like I said, send me your contact information. We'll go over the big announcement. You can call me. We'll figure out something.
Okay, nah, man, I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I love you, my brother, and you go enjoy
Love you
your
too.
daughter, man.
Okay, it's my 3-year-old son. I got a six
Oh,
month old daughter, 3-year-old
it's
son,
your
and I
3-year-old
got a
son.
15-year-old son who I gotta pick up from his football banquet. And so, it's rocking and rolling, man. But we gotta represent for the culture.
Hey, we got to represent for the men. Because,
Yes.
they said we ain't there. So we got to represent for the men. We got to represent for the
Yeah.
real fathers out here, man.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So, hey, man, enjoy your afternoon, brother. We will talk
All
to
right, you
you
too.
another day. All right.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My
Yes,
brother, my brother,
sir.
my brother.
Yeah, that was a good interview, and like I like the part we got to change the narrative. That's the main thing because that the information that has been put out is deceptive, deceiving, is false, is fake news, and there are a lot of brothers out here that are doing a good thing, being a father in the lives of their children. Even if they're not with the mother, they're still doing their parental duty, being the father, and that's the message we got to get out there.
Right. But a lot of people, like you said, it's a false narrative and we have to change the narrative. But the thing is, it is, it is it's the perpetual nation of tearing us down and making us less than when we are the most involved fathers when it comes to fatherhood. But, of course, in the media, they're going to make us look worse than it actually is.
Always.
They're trying to tear us down at every avenue, every aspect of the situation. They're gonna try to tear us down and make us uh look like we're way less than whatever we are, when in actuality the black father to me, and I'm not just saying it because I'm a black man, but the black father to me is the hardest working father on this earth, because we were born with two strikes against us the day we popped out of the womb, and that was being male, and that was being melanated.
Yeah, you can say that again.
So you know what I'm saying? We were dropped. We came out the womb with two strikes against us. So what are we supposed to do? We've, some of us fell victim to the shenanigans and the all the malarkey that was put out here in the world to try to make us deviate from who we were supposed to be and who we were. But 80% of us grew up in a home where we either had a horrible father male role model in our lives, or we grew up with no real male role model in the house with us. So that, like he said, we both had the same agenda of making sure that we were better than our fathers, because we didn't really have fathers. So we didn't really have anything to base it off of. But I agree with what he said. My biggest thing was I didn't want my children to feel the way I felt being a kid growing up with no real strong male structure in the household. So I didn't want my kids to feel that whatsoever. So it was like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna
Right.
do this. I'm gonna change the narrative. I'm going to change the way they look at us. I'm going to change the way that they see us, and just make a difference. What's up, Bubba?
What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing?
Good evening,
Doing
Bubba J.
wonderful.
If y'all don't hear it enough, I'm gonna gladly tell y'all. Y'all some damn good fathers. If you don't hear it enough, you are some damn good fathers. And trust me, I know.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.
You know what we doing. We ending our lovely day.
Yeah. How was your day in the yellow machine there, Bubba?
Hey, well they don't make it. They don't make it easy on you. They don't make it easy. But hey, it's all right.
Uh, I gotta
He
They,
tip my
said
they,
they
hat to
don't
you because
make it
I
easy
couldn't
on
do
you.
it.
Dave, you couldn't do it?
No, sir. I had to pull that bus over and whip some tail and get fired, and then I'd be turning my bus in.
Uh,
Uh,
not whipping
He
somebody's
just gonna pull
kids,
it over.
man.
Look here, look here. Y'all come get the bus. Come get the bus and the kids. I know. I'm done. I'm done.
Exactly.
Not
Exactly.
not whipping somebody's kids.
Look, I done told you
Okay.
to sit down 3 times. I'm driving the bus. You bouncing around from seat to seat. Y'all don't have no seat belts on. If I happen to slam on the brakes because I have a incident in front of me, now you go flying, and now I gotta fill out a whole report. We ain't having that.
No. See, that's my motto. I don't like doing paperwork. Every kid that ride my bus can tell you that. What's the one thing that Mr. John don't like? He do not like doing paperwork. If I have to do some paperwork, it's gonna cost you. I
Man,
don't like doing paperwork.
Man, look, when Mr. uh what was John's last name?
little.
John Little. That's right. When Mr. Little was talking about Propel, I was it had me going back. When I was in Virginia, we had a really strong PTA at the local elementary school when my youngest son was there, and all of a sudden, things happen. Things change. Everything is always in constant change, but things the president left and the next president stepped up, and it wasn't run the same, and it lost momentum. But we had a really strong PTA for about 3 or 4 years. It faded out. Then I moved here to Nashville, and I tried to get involved in PTA, and it became a political thing and a clique thing. If you weren't part of the clique, then your suggestions or your ideas never got acted on, or even you mention it, but then there would never be any follow through. So I can talk about White's Creek because that's what I deal with. But um, if your children aren't reading on grade level, I can only hold a school responsible for so much. As a parent, I've got to get involved and I've got to do my due diligence. And if I know my child is not on reading level, we've got to do something every day because reading is rote learning. And the more they go over those words and those sounds, the more they're going to pick those things up and making, I think the main thing is making children understand that their education is a priority in the parent's mind. We set the expectation. To them, it's just something that they have to do. They got to go to school. They got to do these things. But if the parent makes them understand this is important to me that you learn this, I think that has a positive effect on the entire process.
See, you just said what I say every day. The question I asked every day: if y'all want us to transport them to and from, y'all want us to feed them, y'all want us to feed their soul and feed their mind. What y'all doing? Really, what are y'all doing? I mean, it's only so much I can do. At some point in time, it's only so much that the school can do. At some point in time, parents have to get involved, and you can tell the kids that do good. You can tell which kids' parents are involved, and I do mean involved. And you can tell the kids who parents are not involved. Trust me. You can tell because I got one that's on my elementary that I don't care what we do. I don't care what we do to him. I don't care. It just in one ear, out the other. It, call mom, dad. It don't change nothing. I mean, I've put him off the bus, what, 3 times this year already?
Really?
He work, he working on his fourth.
Well, one thing I can say, the young man is consistent.
Right. He is
Hey,
really. Hey, he is consistent with it. He said that if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it all the way. I'm gonna do it every time.
But
and see what gets me is, was most of my principals know that if I come into the school, then that means there's a true problem that I've already addressed, that I've already tried to handle before I even bring it to this level, because I don't like doing paperwork. So if I come into school, it's going to require me to do some paperwork, and I don't want to do that. So,
right.
and I've sat down with me, the principal, him, and his mom doesn't speak English, so we've had to translate on the phone. She's translated what we've said, what we discussed, this, that, and the other, and to me, it's in one ear and out the parents' ear also. Nothing gets stuck in the middle. I just want something to get stuck in the middle.
I heard that. And you know what? You can only how many phone interviews can you do? Because you can't look in a person's face over the phone unless it's on video. But even with video, you can't get a solid lock. But something like that, you got to pull that parent in. You have to make it uncomfortable for them. You have to inconvenience a parent to make them understand that they got to get off their butt and make some things happen. If you make it easy for the parents to check out and, like you say, in one ear and out the other, that's all you're going to get.
Well, I'm going to make it real uncomfortable for her. I'm going to make it real uncomfortable for her and him. Because
Hmm.
the next time I put him off, it's going to be for 10 days.
Okay. And
And
she's gonna
then,
have to
and
come up
then
with
after that,
transportation to and from.
oh yeah. And then after that, the next time I put him off, it's going to be for the rest of the year. So you
All
figure
right
it out.
now. Right, right.
Right. Right. Right. You figured out
Because
from
we're
here.
quick. The first thing we tell these kids, and we tell these kids constantly the same thing. We tell the parents, transportation. This is not a right. This is a privilege. We provide this privilege to y'all, so you can take advantage of it or you cannot. If you decide you don't want to take advantage of it, we're gonna do something about it. I'm the driver that's gonna do something about it. I will quickly tell. Doesn't matter who team I'm running, whether it's mine, somebody else's, or it's mine and somebody else's. Mine with somebody else will tell the other people, hey, you might want to check yourself because this ain't your typical driver. I'm going to tell you, he gonna pop that brake, stand up, walk down this aisle, and get in your face and ask you, what are you doing? You do
Yep.
realize I get paid by the hour,
That's what
so
I'm
I got
talking
all
about.
day. How about you?
That's the kind of driver I would be. I'll pull this bus over quick. We ain't playing that. That's why I couldn't do it.
Man, I done stopped on roads that you probably should have stopped on because there ain't no way for the other traffic to get around you. Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
They like, Mr. Joe, we holding traffic. They can't move till I move,
Mm-hmm.
and I
And it's
can't move.
cause you.
I can't move till he or she get right.
Right.
So
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
my thing is I tell my kids all the time. I say, them 17 rules that we got on this because they posted on every bus. All 17 of them posted on every bus. I say I can bend those rules only so far before you make me have to do something. And then I said, there's three things, and there are three things that we have no options but to do something about. That would be fighting. It would be rude and vulgar language. Well, inappropriate sexual language and inappropriate touch.
Mm.
We have no choice but to do something about that. And
I know that's
hate
right.
speech,
Mm-hmm.
and hate speech. We have no choice but to do something about that. We have no choice at all. That is a zero tolerance policy when it comes to Metro. All the way.
Exactly.
That's on the school. That's at the bus. That's at the bus stop. And that's
Mm-hmm.
most people don't understand that your bus stop is an extension of the school.
Right.
Like I had a little boy. I told a little boy today, look here. When I come back out this neighborhood, your bus stop already dead. So that means you need to be here the first time I get here.
Yeah.
Because the next time I'm gonna pass by you and wave and blow my horn. And when your parents call and say the bus driver just drove, no, ma'am, I stopped at that stop. They wasn't there. Okay. Activated my lights and everything. I ain't got to see you the second time.
Right.
But the biggest thing is parents do got to get more involved. We do need some stronger PTAs in these schools. And when you fight, you got to fight for everything. You got to fight for your child's education. You got to fight for your child's transportation. Because in the summertime, in the beginning of school, it's so hot out here. And most people's misconception is they think that we have, like all our buses have AC. That's a lie. They don't. And what they tell us is it doesn't get hot enough in Nashville for us to have it. That's a lie too. It does.
What
When
you
did it start?
said.
When did it finally start cooling off? September, October.
Yeah.
Man,
We
with
ran
global
90 degrees. We ran 90 degrees in September.
with global warming, it ain't getting no cooler.
Thank you. So what you mean? It doesn't get hot enough here. Okay. Well, I tell you what. You wouldn't need your dog in the vehicle that hot. I bet you that.
Whoever said it's not hot enough, I bet they got air in their car and they running it.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. I say because most folks don't know, like all our upper management, like from superintendent, everybody in her office, everybody over there, most of them drive brand new Tahoes. Most of them drive brand new Tahoes. And I guarantee you, all y'all pumping y'all AC from the time you step in out of the door into that vehicle.
Yeah.
No doubt. No diggity, no
Man,
doubt.
that's why I say when I need parents to fight for everything. Don't just fight for your child's education. Fight for everything dealing with your school. Fight for your nutrition and all of it. I need you to fight for everything. Because there's some things that go on in the school system. And like I tell people all the time, I always talked about the red tape in government. I didn't realize how thick the red tape was till I became part of the government. Till I started working for the government. Then I realized how thick the red tape really is. Like, it takes an act of Congress to get something accomplished around here.
What you said, bureaucracy or something else.
Man.
I swear it is. Hey, but I don't understand. How do you meet every day but don't nothing ever get done? What y'all meeting about then?
Where we gonna go play golf at?
That's got to be what it is. That's got to be what it is. And see, what people don't realize is in its public record, everything that the school district does is public record. From all of our salaries all the way down is public record. And what people don't know is, and people need to realize this, and when I say pay attention to what goes on, our superintendent, her salary goes up every year. It goes up every year.
regardless of whether the scores go up or not.
Yes, because it's in her contract. And most people don't know that. But it's in her contract that her salary goes up every year.
Every year.
I
I
wonder
mean, when you
why
look
that
and
is designed that way. Because I mean, if your product is not producing to the expected levels, and you have a client base that's dissatisfied with your product, why do you deserve a raise?
well, I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. One thing that they push that most folks don't understand is attendance. That's part of it. Attendance and then test scores. Well, if the test scores look like they get better every year, and attendance is high, because it takes, like when I say it takes an act of Congress, like the one young man that I'm talking about that I put off the bus. It's just the fact that last year he was so horrible that they already know, and I'm the driver that they fly. I tell them, it's either gonna be me or him, one or the other. If y'all want him to drive the bus, then be my guest, because I refuse.
Oh my
So
God. All right, go ahead.
so that's yeah. So it's either gonna be me and him, and because I'm not gonna put up with the same thing they put up with last year. I'm not gonna. Well, we gotta have a paper trail. No, I'm not doing all that. Because everything that he does on my bus when I'm in this building, it means it's unsafe for me to drive. And I'm not going to do that. Because Metro is not going to protect my CDL. I got to
And
protect that.
exactly. Question for you, Bubba. Do they have cameras on the inside of the bus looking, from backwards from the driver's seat looking at the kids?
I'm going to tell you like this. We have some of the best camera systems that rival some banks. Like we got some camera systems we got a camera system that rivals most banks. That probably rivals some government installations. Because they can hear everything you say from the front of the bus to the back of the bus. And let's see, on the inside there's one pointing out the front windshield, one over the driver looking at the door and the driver, and one in the very back of the bus looking straight down the middle to see all of it, and then there's one on the side. So we have, 4 cameras?
So when these
And we
kids are
want
clowning, you've got video evidence.
okay. And you still get them parents like, that ain't my child, until you show them the video. And then they be like, well, thought it wasn't your child. That's what you were saying.
I love
Because
those.
you will get parents come to the school. Now you get some parents that come to school and will clown. They'll come to the bus stop and clown. They'll come to school and clown until you show them the video and then they ain't got nothing to say. Because this is what you raised. This is the person you're raising.
That's why I'm not a school teacher right now, because man, back in Virginia when I was trying to retire from the Coast Guard, I was getting my teacher certification from ODU. They give me the $5,000 stipend. Man, them kids were so bad in them ghetto schools, and and I understand why the kids have such a hard time, because the parents aren't doing their part. And when the parents justify negative behavior and then come up there and argue with administrators and teachers because they don't want to accept the fact that their parenting skills or whatever plan they have in place is not working, then they want to catch a tude. Well, your child is the one suffering, and you're not part of the solution. You're the problem.
And that's what gets me is most of these parents out here think you're doing something. You think you're doing something when you come to the bus stop and you clown on the driver or you clown on another student. Like we had a parent come to the bus stop and pull a gun on another student because her daughter and her got into it. So now what did you just show your daughter? First off, you going to jail. That's a federal charge because it happened at the bus stop. And then second off, you're interrupting school function. So what did you teach your child? That it's okay to act a fool and go to jail?
What you said.
Because you showed it teach them conflict resolution. You didn't teach them how to use their words.
No, that's what is that?
And then you come down the line and you later on down the line when you're a grandma, you're like, I just don't know what happened to you. Yeah, you do. You did it. Give yourself a pat on the back. Why your
Bubba,
child
say
sitting in
it right.
prison?
No, Bubba, you got to say it right. When you're a grandma at 38.
Yeah, when you're a grandma at 38. I just don't know what happened. Yeah, you do. You did it. So give yourself a pat on the back. Why you letting her spend the night with her boyfriend, letting her boyfriend spend the night at your house? Give yourself a pat on the back. You did that. Why your son sitting in jail and you talking about, well, I guess we're gonna have to bail him out again. Yeah, give yourself a pat on the back. You did that. You did that. That's what you wanted. Because it's showing you didn't want nothing other than that, because this had to be what you wanted.
Oh no, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted at all.
Had to be what you wanted. When you came and showed out, when you came up to the school and showed out, when you came out to the bus stop and showed out, that had to be what you wanted. Because that was the outcome of you showing out. That's you showing the kid that they ain't gotta respect nobody in the school. They ain't gotta respect the bus driver. They ain't gotta respect nobody, none of their peers.
You don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about. I was trying to get my kid to be the best fella in the school.
You know
Do
the
that
worst
dance
thing. You
for
know
him,
the worst thing
Laquita.
they ever told anybody, huh?
You know they tell you some shit like that, then they be like, do that little dance everybody doing on TikTok, Laquita.
You know the worst thing they tell people though is, and people don't understand it. The one thing that people need to realize and need to understand is respect is given and earned. It's not given; it's earned.
Mm-hmm.
They need to
Exactly.
realize that the respect is earned. And if you show up to me and you clowning this, that, and the other, and patting on your head and talking this, what am I supposed to do with that? I mean, I'm just gonna look at, okay, thank you. Yep. Sure is. And at the end of the day, when I put your child out there, now what you gonna do? Now they gotta go to an alternative school. Well, that didn't, and the alternative school didn't teach them nothing but how to be a better criminal than what they were already was.
That's it. That's it.
Well,
That's it. That's
Juvenile
it.
system didn't teach them how to do nothing but be a better criminal than what they already was. I mean, you go to kangaroo court, and I mean, hey, there's no precedence in kangaroo court. It's whatever the judge decides. What's the best decision? What's the best outcome for the child? This ain't no one model fit all.
Very true. Very true.
One child may need something the other child don't need. We sitting here talking about the reading. That man was talking about how the reading level is low. I can understand that. When I drop you off at home and ain't nobody there to help you read, don't nobody help you do your homework, and don't nobody even care if you had homework or if you did your homework.
and you know what?
What
That's
you
the
supposed to
big
do with this?
change. That's the big change in the village, because when I was a kid, if I didn't have homework, guess what? Somebody was making me up some homework. I was
Right.
Okay.
It
Right.
wasn't no, oh, you got a free night off. No, you better get in that room and write something
Yeah.
100 times or spell. If I
Right.
missed a spelling word, or if I missed a word in my quiz, those 1 or 2 words that I missed, I'm writing them 100 times.
Man, I
Thank you. You see what I'm
remember them
saying?
days. I remember them days, man.
What happened to the flashcards? What happened to the index cards? What happened to a parent sitting down? You made the index card so you can remember the states and the capitals. What happened to that?
Yeah. Sure enough. Yeah.
See, the village fell apart, and the true part about it is we fell apart when they just started giving away stuff for free.
The village, somebody said to me the other day, the village fell apart when we started having babies too young. When
Hey,
babies started having babies, because there was nobody there to teach anymore. When the
yeah,
babies
well,
started having
that's true.
babies.
That is a good
Yeah.
way of looking at it,
And
because I mean that's
when
the truth.
you have a 35-year-old grandmother who didn't get her education, uh, only thing she can do is teach you how to slide into some jeans 2 times too small and try and go out in the street.
That's it.
she she teach you how to twerk. She teach you how to put on a lace front. Teach you how to put on some eyebrows. Teach you how to braid your hair. Put some weave in. She teach you all that.
All right, don't get me talking about I'm gonna get you, sucker. Don't make me take my leg off and hop after you.
All
Right.
right. Okay. Hmm. She teach you that what you need is you don't need to be independent and you don't need to be on your own. What you need somebody to take care of you. That's what you need because that's what she always looking for.
And if you can't find a man, the government is standing by waiting to take care of you.
Lord
I
have
mean they always.
mercy.
None of us are on the dating scene, but I've talked. We've talked to single people, and I mean, when a person come out with, I gotta go to Ruth Chris, but can you afford Ruth Chris on your own without me?
That's a good question, but that's a really good question because they want you. You're right. They want you. I want you to take me to the fanciest restaurant. I want you to. But can you? That's a good one, Bubba. Can you afford that on your own?
Can you spell restaurant?
Oof, oof,
Oh, you
oof.
won't be going on no dates no time soon. You get to talking like
None
that.
at all.
Yeah.
None at all.
You ask one of these ladies out here, can they spell restaurant, Dave? You're gonna be by yourself for a long time.
Hey,
At
bro, look,
35 years.
you know how I answered that question?
What's that?
I went on eHarmony and I found Ashley on eHarmony.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
That but that 35-year-old grandma father about to be a great grandma in 10 more years. Yeah. Okay. No, sir. She cannot spell restaurant. She, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. She one check away from losing her car.
Get out of here. There
Exactly.
he go.
Exactly.
He says she one check away from losing her car. Get the mess out of here. I'm not going with y'all. He
Well,
says
I mean, I'm just telling you, gotta look at it like this.
Yeah.
she one check away from losing her car.
That's it.
But she won the twerk contest last week.
That was for free drink. For
Was that?
$50 worth of free drink.
I hope that wasn't a tour contest down at the church.
She, man, her partner. And when she come in that building, oh, she down to the nines when she step off into the church
Man.
house.
He said the twerk contest at the church. Not at the church. Not the
Sitting down
twerk
the church
contest.
aisle.
Not at the church. No. I wasn't
Next time,
ready.
next time, ask, can you spell twerk?
You know that what we just had, it was a satire on a sad state of what we actually are dealing with out here. But you know, it's not funny, but it is true, and there is a level of mediocrity that's even, I don't even know if it even meets the level of that word. But we do have a class of folk out here that are in in more need of help than others. There are levels. There are some young families out here that just need a break. They had, the circumstances just didn't fall in their favor. But and I feel bad, taking pot shots at folks like that. Again, it's almost like satire, but we know that there's a great need out here, and folks like John Little with Nashville Propel, I got to tip my hat to them for being out there, being in place, and we need to help put the word out on them and help support their endeavors so that some of these young parents who may not know that Propel exists may be able to find an avenue to help them even in their day-to-day comings and goings and dealings with their children in school.
Right. And I agree with that. And like you said, it is satire. It really is. We are really not. We ain't above nobody, man. We are not above
No, not at all.
anybody.
Oh
I
no,
never.
oh
We
no,
never. But we
oh
just.
no.
We just having fun, and I want everybody to understand that we just having fun. We are not. We are not making fun of nobody in particular because I don't know nobody like that anyways. That's just always that's
We
just
we
a joke.
we are making fun. We're making light of a serious situation. Is all we're trying to do.
Right.
Right.
And
That's it.
we're not it's a serious situation. We're really not trying to destroy. We understand it's a serious situation. We're just trying to make light of a serious situation. Because I mean, laughter and smiles are the best medicine. But I mean, like, and I always tell people, and you always hear me say it, dude. You always hear me say it. If you want to make God, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan. Because he already had the plan for you. Whether or not you follow it is on you.
Very
Tell him
true.
your plan.
Very true.
But your
Very
plan
true.
is always gonna mess up.
Hey, it ain't never going the way you think it's going. That's for
Oh,
sure.
it never does. It always goes the way he wants it to go. It never goes the way I want it to go. It
Hmm.
never does. Yeah. But yeah. Yes, it was a really great conversation. Fellas, it's always a blessing. I need everybody Friday for a great conversation. I got a clip that I'm going to play this Friday, and I want to get everybody's input on this clip. So you got to be there Friday because we need your input on what's going on in this world. I love everybody. I wish you the best. Everybody have a safe next few days. Stay warm, everybody, because the
Yes,
weather is
sir.
the weather is bipolar, handicap. I don't know what to
Said
say
about
about
pulling
this.
an handicap.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this weather because one day it's cold, one day it's hot, one day it's windy, one day it's raining, one day they're talking about snow, one day they're talking about everything else in the world. I don't know. So all I gotta say
Watch
is
out for
this:
those. Watch out for Thursday because it's supposed to drop down in either the low 20s.
Thursday, what? Thursday morning,
Okay.
Thursday afternoon.
Wednesday night, Thursday morning, or Thursday evening, Friday morning. We're supposed to have a cold shift coming down from Canada.
Now listen to that. Well, we had 260-degree days this week already.
Hmm.
It was 70 degrees on Saturday. Where they do that at?
Right.
I don't know. That's why y'all heard what I said. Don't
Yep.
act like what I said was not true. And then we can talk
Yeah.
about the weather all day long. We can talk about
Don't come out
the
here.
weather.
Don't come out here in shorts and flip flops like some other people I see around here in Middle Tennessee.
Ah,
Hey,
ah,
Be smart. Dress for the weather. Blessings, brothers.
all right
all
now.
right, gentlemen, y'all be good.
All right.
Y'all have a great rest of the week. Mr. Mark, always good. I'll see you on Friday.
All right,
Mr.
Morris
Morris.
Harris. I see you in the background. Have a blessed one.
The kickback, the place for brothers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The kickback, a place for brothers. Yeah, yeah. The kickback, a place for brothers. Yeah, yeah. The kickback, a place for brothers. The kickback, a place for brothers. The kickback, a place for brothers. The kickback, a place for